Welcome everybody, welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. This video is to basically let the world know that I've just made the biggest astronomical discovery of all time. It can't be debunked. It just takes a bit of thought to understand how and why it all works. I'm just going to do a bit of a gloss over because it's up to you people to go and do your research. If you don't already know that the earth is flat, you're a lost soul. And you're going to find this a bitter pill to swallow. But I call it the greatest discovery of all time, and it is in this cycle of man. But I know there's nothing new under the sun, because all the clues are printed in mythological stories and legends and religious text. Okay, so what I've discovered is. I put this out in my video, I've been putting this out for years, that the central sun of creation is mirrored out south. Excuse me. So we have Polaris. Polaris, the sun is a star, and it's actually Polaris. And Polaris is Sigma Octantis. Okay? And Sigma Octantis and Polaris are El-lumination. That's the buckle. That's the buckle, the middle star of Orion's belt. Okay? Because Orion's belt sits between the two sky rotations of the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. It sits dead center in that strip. The holy season, spring. But not only that, it is the passing through of the Orion and the belt, specifically the belt, buckle and a limb. I thought I had some more details here, but no. So anyway, Orion's belt sits in that strip. I did have it somewhere. Oh, here we go. We have the Isle. It was called the Isle. The street, the track, the river, even the banks of the Nile on each side. So it's basically around here, this part here. That's where Orion's belt travels 24/7. Over the year, but we only see it for about 9 months because it gets buried in the sun, because the sun catches up to it. That's another thing I've discovered and no one else talks about it, and science won't mention it, because it's all connected with the flat earth system. And when you know the whole system, you're going to go, what the heck? How could I have believed I lived on a spinning ball and all that garbage? No, man, common man has not opened up his mind to search deep enough to understand the whole concept. They're in la-la land. They think like a Neanderthal compared to someone who's woken up and knows the whole model. Trust me, when you figure it all out, you'll be kicking yourself too. So the central sun of creation we do not see is basically the pure plasma that our eyes do not pick up on anyway. But at the end of the Milky Way is the image of the sun we see. We're perceived to see, or educated that we see it in the ecliptic plane in the tropical gap. And that is one aspect of the whole model. But you've got to realise Earth is like a magnet and it breaks down. So you've got to consider all these levels. Okay? There's like the creation here and the two ends of the Milky Way coming off the sun that's created, feeding the plasma. You have the female down here, which is just the X chromosome, because it's both north. But the male is created between the north and the south pole, which makes it an X and a Y chromosome. That goes up there, and this is why the sun is considered a hermaphrodite. Okay? So you've got the whole Milky Way there and the sun in the middle, which we see out in the sky at night as the back of the sun, because this obviously you're not going to see the Milky Way during the day, because the sun shines across the black hole. It's amplified across the black hole. It's like a trumpet, it's amplified, the frequencies. So at night we see the back of the sun, the Milky Way, and science calls it Sagittarius A. Okay, so you can assume it's up there. That's one aspect. There's one aspect of the magnet. Break it down, you can see it here, because we're led to believe the sun is in the tropical gap in the ecliptic plane right there. And then you can break it down again, which science doesn't tell you, that we have an image of the night sky in the southern hemisphere, just like they have one in the northern hemisphere. It's broken down again. So there's a Milky Way there and there's a Milky Way there. Then, if you're in that one hemisphere, you break it down again. because we all see the universe around us from within our arc of horizon. It's flat with a 180-degree arc of horizon where all the stars, all the celestial bodies are shown to us perpendicular off that arc, from that arc, making us the centre of the universe because we are 90 degrees to zenith. This is how we do celestial navigation, okay? So, let's go back now. That sun is projected here. We see a sun, supposedly there, only due to the light spectrum. Because back here, pure plasma cannot be seen anyway. But out here, due to the light spectrum, because it's all based on frequencies, we have the sun here in the tropical ecliptic plane. But in reality, we only see one image down here in our personal dome of horizon. And we're getting it off this image here. Because in the southern hemisphere, all the celestial bodies come out from the south. They're mirrored from the north. All the northern stars come out of the centre here. They spin out this way like this. This is basically the magnetic field of the toroidal field. This was classed as the spider web in celestial navigation if you're travelling north in the northern hemisphere. Don't think they have a name for out here. So anyway, there's a meridian. Everyone's on a meridian north to south. They will get their image, their mirrored image of what's going on in this slice of the pie. And this is another thing. Science doesn't tell you that. What you have to realise is everything in our realm is to do with the moment of creation. So everything we do and say is all connected with the moment of creation. So a slice of the pie, you can consider that as a slice of the pie in the earthly system. That slice is what you're going to get in your arc of horizon. So that turning, that's a full-time turning rotation of the vortex in the northern sky. Celestial, photography, nighttime photography, astrophotography, seeing the stars going around. It's the flat plane up here. It gets brought down into the southern field like this. So this forever turning rotation in the middle here is casting an image out the south that turns all the way around here. So one rotation in the middle here is one 360 rotation all the way around the perimeter. So at one moment in time you're only getting a slice out into your arc of horizon if you're in the southern hemisphere, and you're getting that rotation. Because that's turning, you're still getting a full rotation here. Stars drift in and you see them fade out in star trail photography. They drift in and they fade out. They don't do a full 360, they fade out because they're moving out of your arc of horizon west. So he'll have an image like this. This guy around here will have the image turned slightly. This guy will have it more turned. This guy will have it more turned. All reflected from the middle. So the great discovery is that that sun is that sun is that sun. And that sun at night is Orion's belt nut buckle. El-lumination. Okay? Because the centre of that between the two rotations is the centre in here between these two parts of the flat earth system. Okay? And so like I say, because it's like a magnet, you've got the Milky Way, you've got the Milky Way, you've got one system goes over into there as the male, and then the female down through the vortex, the female end, you've got the male end coming over to here. Okay, that's one system. Then you've got the other system where it's Milky Way to there, where we supposedly, we're taught the sun is there and the Milky Way comes out here and the Milky Way comes out there. There's another whole overall system. But then we have a whole system of our own in each hemisphere seen at night. Like I'm in the south, I can see the whole Milky Way come over at night, and with good photography I can see the back of the sun, Sagittarius A. So can the sky up in the north. Okay? So, here is the sun, which is Sigma Octantis. Sigma Tantus, or they knew back in the day, Polaris Australis is Polaris from the north, from the south. And Orion's belt that we see coming through here, let's just draw three stars, is also the sun, the back of the sun. Okay, so that sun will be directly over here. The daylight side will be shining back this way. This is the night side, okay? So that's the big discovery. It cannot be debunked. If you do your own research and look into it, that's the way it works. Understand magnetism. If you want to understand magnetism properly, go to Ken Wheeler's videos. Understand the magnetic field, the wave. It's basically a wave. It's a plowshare. It's in the Bible, a plowshare. There's another word for it. And it's the wave. And it's just passing over the earth all the time. It's the wave. And you go back to creation here, that's a wave too. The ecliptic plane up here is a wave from the centre out. It's like dropping a pebble in the centre of the pond and watching the wave go out. Well, where you drop that pebble is the black hole dead centre, and the energy created by the splash created the sun. The voltage gave all light and created life on Earth. And then the wave kept moving out, and that's where you see the planets on the wave further out. They take longer to move around the track. Another thing they don't tell you is they don't pass the sun. The sun's on the inside track. How can these slower, bigger circuits pass the sun with the most energy on the inside track? It's blue shift. It's red shift. Energy. No, the sun catches up. So when they show these images of retrograde, don't be fooled. I mean, if there was such a thing as retrograde, what happens to their mass attracts mass? How does mass attract mass when you consider this loop here like this? It doesn't work. That's why they now tell you it's just an illusion. You know, they shouldn't even be showing it like this because it's BS. The planet is coming along. Let's draw it another way. It's just nothing like that, okay? But it is a way of drawing it. So here's there's the outer track, and you've got the sun in here. Okay, so you've got a celestial body, a planet moving along like this, right? Let's say it gets to here. And the sun is on the horizon of the black hole, and that's why we get into the Jesus story of the baby, because it's the body of a baby, see? And the cosmic egg, if you go right around like that. But nothing does an elliptic. It just appears that way, because maybe for the S-curve of creation on the elliptic plane here or something. Anyway, so the sun moves around this hole. So that sun sends its light out across the world in a Fibonacci curve like this. So it's coming around and it's going to come up and catch the planet. So because science tells you that the sun is stationary, is not moving, so where we see the sun out anywhere out here on the magnetic field line, they're telling you, they want you to think that this planet is going that way, going backwards, because the sun is catching it. Because the sun is catching up to it. Okay, so imagine that stationary, because that's what science want you to believe, but it's closing in on the planet, so it must be the planet going that way. Okay, then all of a sudden the sun has moved past it. Okay, so if the sun's moving that way, they want you to believe that the sun's fixed and the planet's going that way. Okay, then when the sun gets right around here, and it's quite obvious now that this planet is going that way too. Okay? So there's none of this garbage. Okay? even the ancient, you know, the great scientists of the past, they mention, you know, mentioning that cycle, even they got it wrong. I just saw something else online too. I should have highlighted that. Can't remember what it was. Well-known theory. Oh, I was watching one of the Wits It Gets It debates. Even he's still talking about the planets going around the sun. No, they do not. Get that into the heads of flat earthers. They do not. They have to watch the whole system here and understand it all. Understanding that the sun is moving in that small circle, just like Polaris. You see Polaris moving, and I pointed out that Polaris is the sun, because the sun is a star, remember, it's just seen from the nighttime perspective in several ways. Okay? Because of all these mirror effects and breaking down like a magnet, like I've been telling you, this is why we get all the different images. Sigma Octantis, the Belt of Orion, and what was the other one? Now I don't mention this, how the northern sky, anti-clockwise, turns like this, but because of this parabolic curve in the Earth's magnetic field out south, that gets swung down and projected into the sky like this. So it's now inverted. You're looking at the backside, but it's still a reflection because it's a picture. It's a picture of that cast into the sky, and we're looking at it now like that. It's not as though there's a picture on this side and a picture on that side. It's the same, you know, there's my fingers. How do I do that? I can't. It's like that. So you're still seeing the end of the fingers through like that. Okay? That's how this parabolic reflection works, due to the concavity of this field with the dark backdrop of night. Okay? So understanding this is a world first, understanding why man has an X and Y chromosome. Science has never told you that. They don't know all that stuff. The two magnetic fields, the capacitor plates, the dielectric gap, what's created, the energy created between the capacitor plates. So you imagine sticking a magnet on there and your magnet on there, the South Pole and North Pole, separating them just enough so they still, you know, so they are, what's the word, mono, whatever. If you separate them too far, it becomes a dual, doesn't it? Dual system. That's the godly creation of Earth. It's singular. Okay? Just the North and South Pole. And the energy is being created in there. It gets fed up into here. This is the Milky Way. We only see the sun here at the end of that pipeline. It's a pipe. It's like a straw. Moving around this centre gap of the Earth, all the way around here. Going back into the creation to feed the plasma of the true sun. Okay? Male and female, where they connect, creates illuminates the sun. So the sun's illuminated this side, but it's night side on this side. Sigma Octantis or Polaris or Orion's belt. Now, getting right into the story of Orion's belt and how we see it and why and all that is very divine, and I'll be keeping that information to myself for now. Okay? So that's it, everybody. World first, Sigma Octantis. Octantis is Polaris. Polaris and El-lumination. It sounds like Nephilim because it's connected to Nephilim and even Analema maybe. All to do with the sun. Everything's to do with the sun. All these bodies are all related to the sun. That's why it's so divine. Okay. Thanks for watching. Put a likes up if you don't mind and share. Cheers. Welcome everybody. Welcome to part 2 or video 2 on the greatest astronomical discovery made in the history of this cycle of man. Check out video 1, or you can actually watch this then go check out video 1 if you wanted to. I didn't draw all the pretty pictures in video 1, so I'm going to explain it all with these nice pictures for those who need to see the models, how it's all come about. Now this great discovery of mine is showing you how and why Polaris, central star, the central northern star is a 3-star system, is the same as what we see out in the southern hemisphere, which used to be called Polaris Australis, now Sigma Octantis. Maybe that's because they want to keep you away from the thought that it is a reflection of the north. It is a mirrored reflection. But we say Sigma Octantis is a 1-star system because it's an exploded view of the slice of the northern hemisphere. But we're going to get into that. And the central star of Orion's belt, always forget how to pronounce the word, El-lumination, also represents the sun. So Polaris represents the sun. So does Sigma Octantis. Polaris, Venus and Mercury is the 3-star system up here. You've just got to understand the levels of perspective and thought. It takes a bit of the mind's eye to understand it all. But when you understand it, whew, you are enlightened. Trust me. You have to understand the truth in this physical world before you pass on, or you're just going to be recycled back to another dodo, maybe another form of animal. But you want to learn the truth. You want to leave all the common man, leave the herd, get away from the common narrative. It's all lies and deceit. Okay? Here I explain it all. So we have to realise that there's different perspectives of the sun. Polaris is the sun. The sun does a small rotation around the black hole centre of creation, because it's like a wave out from the centre. Dead centre of the wave is the black hole, and that splash or energy created instantly is the sun. It was a star that came down the Milky Way, came into place. That's a long story, that goes on forever, but it got there, okay, and then it becomes illuminated. So it's forever changing, but it might take hundreds if not thousands of years to change. But that star will be replacing the sun, and this goes into mythological stories about Zeus, and even the Christian story, what was his name, King Herod. The Herod wanted to kill off all the newborn babies. The babies represent the new sun, S-O-N, S-U-N, coming in to replace him. Okay, so it gets replaced, it comes down through the Milky Way. It's all to do with pairing. They know about pairing in physics. Well, they do the pairing up in the two ends of the Milky Way. One side's female, one side's male. And this is represented by Venus and Mercury. Mercury, the male, the messenger, he becomes the illuminated one. The male coming down, just like the sperm coming down, up the egg comes, the fallopian tube where the sperm coming down. Bingo, they hit at the egg, the sun, whatever, create the pairing, male and female. That's why the sun is a hermaphrodite. It's male and female. But check out the other video for a bit more explanation on that. So Polaris is the sun, and it sends an image out to the south all around the southern hemisphere because it all comes from the centre. This is it here, it comes from the centre. The star rotation fixed at the centre north in the Arctic, turning 24/7, 15 degrees per hour. In the northern hemisphere we see that. It's a flat rotation up in the sky. Okay, up in the sky, above the centre Arctic like this, the top of the vortex, ecliptic plane, and due to the shape of the Earth, this parabolic mirrored effect we get at night time, that swings down and get cast into the night sky in the southern hemisphere like this. So it's inverted and it's rolling the opposite way. You can do experiments yourself. I've done that with a fishbowl. Okay, so that becomes there. So Polaris becomes Sigma Octantis. But because it's an exploded image out south, because everything expands outward from the centre, this is the only way, this is the only example of how our realm expands out to the south from the centre north. The only way we can imagine it. But you can also see it, but you need to imagine, use your little bit of the old mind's eye, exploded. So we see the 3-star system back here at Polaris, but we only see Sigma Octantis here because the other 2 stars will be more widely dispersed. Okay? But they're out there. There's a lot more information to be explored in there, and I haven't gone into it yet, but you've still got the 3-star system. And here at a particular time of the year we also have a 3-star system, and it's all due to this alignment, north to south. That's your meridian. Everyone has a meridian. Everyone is on a meridian, on a direct line from north to south. You can consider that as a nice, here we go, one of these, north to south. And you're in here, anywhere in here, there it is from the south to the north. Earth has this 180 degree curve called a meridian. Well, they should be calling it a meridian, like that. And so does man down here on Earth sit at 90 degrees to his zenith of his arc of horizon. Could say his little mini meridian. All the celestial bodies in his, wherever he is, will be cast onto his arc of horizon. That's his visual perspective of the universe around him, because he himself comes from the centre. He is the centre of creation. The centre of the creation is back here, where it's lateral, horizontal. But down in our realm, we see it all vertical. It's all perpendicular. The created realm here is perpendicular to creation. Okay? You need to accept that. A lot of things you need to accept if you've been indoctrinated all your life. Orion's belt represents singularity before the duality, the split hemispheres. This is all described in religion, but common man cannot read it or see it. Singularity. That's the point way back here. This is singularity. Created our realm, which is a split cell. Created the northern and the southern hemisphere, divided by the tropical gap. Be it down here on Earth or the celestial tropical gap. It's divided, separated. Okay? The magnetic field does not cross the tropics. That destroys the globe theory bullshit straight away right there. The field comes out of the centre, over, down, straight down at the Tropic of Cancer, through the Earth, up the south, over, drops straight down at Capricorn, through the Earth and back up again. That's the infinity cycle, all the way around the donut. Okay? So this is how we see it. Minute. The inner northern hemisphere is shrunk away like this, but we don't know this because it's all relative to the observer. We don't know we're expanding as we move south. Every living creature, everything not attached to the earth, not fixed and stationary to the plane of the earth, which comes from the plane of inertia, from the dead centre of the black hole, that's where earth is from, everything will expand as it being taken south. That's why it's all relative. Distance, time over distance out here is all relative. Way back here, it's all equal. This is why we have a Mercator map that shows all the arcs of longitude parallel, because it's representing the time between the arcs. They're all the same. So if you're expanding with the field, you don't know. There's no difference in distance, is there? Okay, so that explains all your flight you know, it's all over the internet, flat earth flights. It's all, just ignore the whole lot. You come here and you learn it all in at one place, okay? Venus, the Sun and Mercury is the 3-star system. Seen from another perspective, seen from other perspectives, maybe. One has to appreciate the different stages of perception. Not sure if that's correct English, but you need to understand the whole concept, all the different stages, like chopping down a magnet into smaller pieces. Okay, 3 to 4 different concepts to consider all at once is key to understanding the whole flat earth model. These are the different positions. The Milky Way can be imagined because everything is of the mind anyway. It is whether you can use your mind's eye to see reality for what it is, or just go with the mainstream common man's narrative of delusions. So stage 1 on an overall system, you have the Milky Way, female end down here, and the male end coming up, being created from the electromagnetic induction between the capacitor plates, you could say, either side of the tropics. The magnetic field of Earth, okay, it's like a ring magnet. It's all the magnetic field that creates the energy. This is where the energy is created. That's why it's warm at the tropics. And we get an image of the sun in our realm, supposedly here, because that's where it is created. If you look at it on a worldly, an overall system. But we actually we see an image of our own down on our own arc of horizon. So these are the different stages. You have your one stage here of the Milky Way, then you have another stage of it this way with the sun in the middle here, so put the sun there, there's your Milky Way. And then you break it down again and you have the Milky Way out here with the sun in the middle, and in the north they have their own as well. They're two different. Okay. And then you bring it down again, we see the whole Milky Way model pass over our arc of horizon. At night, the individual's perspective of the universe around him. Okay? Now this is how the stars move around the central northern star rotation. Around our flat earth system, they're rolling around west all the time. So as this does a 360, these here have done a 360 wind all the way back to the start. Like this. They've done a whole 360 by the time they get back here. So they're forever moving this way. This is why in star trail photography you don't see a star here do a whole 360. Because they're coming in from the east, caught in your arc of horizon on your meridian, because you only have this is all you're seeing, you're just getting a slice of the pie as it moves out. That's if you're on a direct south to north meridian, videoing in star trail. But if you take a star tracker, you can track one of these stars and watch it move out and around. Okay? But that rotation there is dead north to south on your meridian line. Okay? So this is why the stars are always coming in and then fading out, because they're moving on out. This is why everybody out south can get their own image. It's all reflected from the centre. Why would he not get one? It's all mirrored in the night sky backdrop of this curve, which creates the parabolic image. It's what creates this parabolic reflection. Okay? They're just stars, holographic projections, seen inverted. So for example, you could say that's South America, there's New Zealand, there's Australia, there's South Africa. South America, South Africa. The only difference is their rotation is revolved slightly. So when they say they're the same stars, they're not exactly in this rotation, because you're only getting that slice there. This guy gets a portion of the rotation around here. Well, actually it nearly is, probably is the same, because as this moves around you're going to get it. Depends on what time you're seeing. But if you all looked at the same time, you would have a slightly different, you have different stars in your slice of the pie as it rolls around. Okay, like this. I've got these turned the wrong way. They're actually going the other way in the southern hemisphere here. In the north it would be going like this. Okay, north is fixed at the centre in the Arctic, turning 24/7, 15 degrees per hour. This is turning 15 degrees per hour because it's a reflection of the north. But it's also moving that way, 15 degrees per hour. How does they explain that on a globe? Don't bother, because a globe is all BS, okay? They can't do it. There's not two motions, is there? Not 15 degrees per hour anyway. So there's the examples: South America, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa. Mirrored projections of the holographic stars. Why Polaris is Sigma Octantis? Polaris, no, because of the reflection straight through there. Orion's belt at a particular time of the year. It's all about an alignment. This is the divine story told in religion that no one understands. Okay, I'm not getting into that because that goes on forever. Also, see my other video. See my video on the plowshare. This is the plowshare. This shape this takes, the magnetic field takes. All clues in the Bible. It's a code. Pomegranates are all the way around here on these. These are infinite, so they're all over the place. Those red things are the sun, the opposite Polaris. The pomegranates. And the pruning hooks. Look, the pomegranate stuck inside that pruning hook. You've got the pruning hook and the plowshare and the pomegranate. Regarding Earth's magnetic field lines. There's the pruning hook. Could even go in like that. But it doesn't really, but that's what the field does. Because as it's winding out, this is the Fibonacci. It winds out of the north is a Fibonacci. Okay? You've got the whole, you've got the magnetic field swinging out like this. Whoops, I've gone the wrong way. It goes this way though, but I'll keep going this way. Okay? Known as the spider web and celestial navigation. Celestial navigation all comes down to here, your arc of horizon. Sextant readings across the horizontal. Then it gives you the angle. Then you got the angle. Then they want to know what equals your zenith. So it's that angle there is where they go to the almanac, Saturn's almanac, to do the calculations of 60 minutes per arc of degrees to give you a distance from where you are here to where that GP point is of that star is. So now they know where you are in relation, like how far away from where you are, but you've basically drawn a circle, so you are here. So that star is on that line, but where is it? North, east, south or west. Then you go a bit deeper and carry on. That's it. That's all celestial navigation. So this is the only example of how you can understand the expansion of the field when you realise that is the one star there is Sigma Octantis, but look out for the other two stars out here. I haven't looked into it, but it could be connected to the crux. So why the middle star of Orion's belt and the limb also represents the Sun, while each side star represents Venus and Mercury. There's Venus and Mercury there, folks. To make up the three-star system, Polaris is. But so is Sigma Octantis, except it is a more exploded view of the southern field, a slice of the northern pie. Read this. Venus and the Sun and Mercury. Venus, the Sun and Mercury is the three-star system, seen from other perspectives. Yeah, I've read that, haven't I? So you've got 1/360 rotation around the centre north, forever moving west. So it's always out here, but you only see half at a time because the sun will be on the other side, right? three wise men, that Orion's belt moves around the tropical gap here 24/7 all year long, consistently, but we only see it for 9 months because the sun catches up to it and buries it in the light of the sun till the sun passes by. You have to accept the whole model. My model shows that the sun moves quicker than all the planets because it's the wave, it's the ecliptic wave. You have to understand the wave. Okay, it's a wave all out from the centre, and right down the centre, right directly on the horizon of the black hole, is the sun. Okay, and if the sun is on the inside track of a race course, he's the horse that's going to win every time. He's going to beat this horse out here, that horse out there, and that horse out there, isn't he? Unless you're stupid or he's frickin' lame. That creates an oval shape when you add the head and the black hole together. But nothing passes the sun. The sun catches up because it's quicker. So as this planet comes around to there, I'm not sure if you see this, but the sun, because you're going to be looking through that way. You're going to be looking through the plane like this. Sun's going to be back here. You're looking through that way. But we're not seeing the dead center sun. I'm explaining the actual sun back here. The sun we see is out here. That's the image. But even then they have to imagine it because you don't see the sun and the night at the same time, do you? This is why they all get confused. Why they think the flipping planets are passing the sun. So let's just say that's reflected out here, and you see a planet. You see a planet out here too. That sun starts coming around towards the planet, and you're told the sun's fixed. You're going to assume that the planet must be going that way towards the sun. Well, no, they're all moving in this direction. The sun catches up, then the sun passes it. So they're still thinking the sun is the planet's going that way because the sun's moving this way. Then when they're far enough apart, then they realise they're all going the same way again, when they've been going the same way all along. Okay, so here's the sun. The sun's on the inside track, actually over here. They're moving together. The sun catches up and carries on. So because the sun is catching up, the sun's fixed, so it must be going this way. So they carry on. The planet's still going that way. Then it gets to a certain point, and then they realise, they're all going together this way. It's that simple, eh? So, that's it, guys. This is the greatest astronomical discovery of all time. You only need to get your head around it. But you won't find any of this on mainstream because they have to stick with the ball. The world's run by the Freemasons, the liars who run NASA. They're the Nazis that won the war, win all the wars, create all the wars. They want you all to believe you live on the outside of a spinning ball and they manage everything. Because when you wake up you realise a lot of the stuff all correlates to a spinning ball theory. But they can't answer, they only answer half the questions. This model, the true model, answers all the questions. All the phasings, lunar eclipses, all lunar eclipses are all to do with the circular black hole. Okay, it's all 2D imaging. Nothing's 3D, nothing's spherical. It's all projections. It's all projected out from the black hole. So we have to imagine where from the black hole we are looking out. Okay, and everything passes over us when in fact it's actually going around us. Okay, so imagine you're standing up there in the middle of the black hole looking out. One way to think about it. Understanding all the breakdown of the Milky Way. Scale it all down, just like chopping a magnet down, okay? 1 system, 2 system, 3, 4. Could just say, make this 3 because you're getting a reflection of this one down here. So it's basically a 3, but you can say 4 if you want to. There's the Pantheon. Why you see this in churches, they all know, the Vatican, they're all part of the club, the Freemason club, the satanic pricks that are taking all your money and lying to you, but they're showing you everything in your face. I don't know if they want you to wake up, I don't think they do, because they're doing their best to kill you all. Fry your pineal gland, which is your third eye, the mind's eye, so you can understand all this stuff. Okay? So if you like this sort of stuff, please support me and join my Patreon page. Don't forget to put a thumbs up or a likes up and share it. Get it out there. The Flat Earth community is as dopey as the Globers. They're not getting this. I don't see it out there. Okay? Get it out there. Flat Earthers, they're woken up a bit more than the Globers, so they need to understand the whole model. Just while we're here and the video's still rolling, I'll just check the time on that. Okay, I've got a couple of minutes, so while we're here, let's just do a quick run over of how you get the solar, how you get these eclipses. Imagine this is the black hole. The magnetic fields come out of the toroidal field like this. It's just the northern hemisphere. Concentrate on that because that's basically what we see around the black hole. Energy comes out. So this black hole circle in here, this wave that comes out is creating the phasing. See the phasing of the moons? And when there's an alignment with Mercury or Venus, it's what's the word? It counteracts the frequencies anyway, and takes the frequency out of the whole system to create this, to cause the sun to go black. Okay, it's only a portion, isn't it? It's not over the entire Earth. It's just a portion, slice of the pie. When you see the shadowing. So I'll leave it at that, guys. Thanks for watching, and any queries, let me know. If you're wanting my email, if I've got time to write that on there. nzbldr@gmail.com. Check out my Patreon. Patreon, is that it? I also have a PayPal. But drawing up a lot more videos on there at the minute, and a lot of Facebook posts you don't see on my YouTube site. But be sure to pass this on to anybody. My tag is @meta369. Keep searching. I try to veer you away from this information. Okay? You have to share this because YouTube's just wants to hide it all, because the people who run YouTube, they're part of the clan of Dan, all the lying Freemasons. It's no conspiracy, okay? They don't want you to know this. So get it out before they shut me down completely. Okay, cheers guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for trying to understand. But go and do some research. Check out a lot more of my videos.